Alright, going live.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
We made it. Tim and I stopped arguing long enough to actually start the podcast.
Save it for the pod.
I know.
Boys.
I wanted to. I couldn't hold back. I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I've been thinking about stuff. But I got an interesting question. What do you believe are your best food takes? Because we were just talking about this.
Best food takes?
Best food take. What do you think is your best food take?
That's an interesting question. I'm going to say the one that definitely has received the most attention when I've told people about it is the sweet chili Doritos s'mores.
What? The fuck did you say?
Yeah, man. You never did sweet chili Doritos s'mores before?
No.
Yeah, you get your marshmallow. You get your marshmallow. You get it nice and on fire. You blow it out, and then you just smush it in between two sweet chili Doritos.
And that's good. Like, so you're talking to a person that's like non-spicy in general. So I don't eat the chili Doritos to begin with, right? So that's part of my confusion. Is it just the marshmallow, or you get the chocolate and everything? Like,
I think I did the chocolate on one, but it was kind of like too much sweetness. The marshmallow is like just enough sweet shit,
right?
And like a lot of it's the texture, right? Yeah. Like it's not only just sweet and savory, but it's also you're like soft, squishy, and you're crunchy.
Okay, I was more surprised, but I understand because you're getting the spicy and the sweet at the same time. Like I could understand why somebody would want to experiment with that. I don't know if I'd necessarily go that route, but hey, it's all you.
Yeah, ask Ian about it. He'll tell you.
Oh man, yeah, I'll have to ask him about it because that shit, that's fucking wild. Tim, do you have a? I am totally springing this on everybody, by the way. So if you don't have one, it's fine. But do you have a best food take?
Broiled to tortilla shell crust pizza is the absolute like under $2. Yeah. So you take a tortilla shell, you put pizza sauce on it, you put your cheese on top, you put some pepperoni or whatever toppings you want. You broil it for like about 4 minutes. You can go up to 5, but you're going to run the risk of it getting burned. You take it out. It costs like, to buy the ingredients you need to make this thing for like 2 weeks costs you like $5, and it is like the value king of pizza. It's so good.
Okay. You know what's funny that you bring up pizza because Asmongold, as I'm sure you guys have realized, I've been watching his content a lot recently. He had something similar, like a $2 pizza that he makes all the time. I have a feeling yours is probably more well put together than his because, like, I don't think the temperature on his oven works correctly, and he doesn't really time it. He just fucking puts this shit together and sticks it in there until he thinks it's done. It's fucking weird. But anyways, yeah, I just find it interesting that you brought up pizza. Mine is oatmeal cooked is absolutely fucking disgusting. The proper way to eat it is uncooked with water or as overnight oats. So.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking hate cooked oatmeal.
You're a sick man.
Everybody looks at me crazy when I'm like, I'm really trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. I'll just open a packet of oatmeal and I'll have a bottle of water and I'll dump a little bit of oatmeal in my mouth and I'll put some water in my mouth and then I just eat it. And
I've never tried it.
It's more efficient, right, than having to fucking cook it and all that other nonsense. You can just eat it in like 2 minutes and you get full, right? And then 2, overnight oats, if you haven't had them, it's a recent revelation in my household thanks to TikTok. Fucking fantastic. And you can hit so many like macros with your carbs and your proteins and all that kind of stuff. It's yeah. It's fucking amazing. So
I'll have to try that.
Yeah. I can send you an overnight oats TikTok if you wanna try.
Yeah,
there's a chocolate one that
nope, I'm out.
You don't want chocolate? What about blueberries?
Nope, the whole thing. You mentioned chocolate, I'm out.
Oh, you don't? He's like, fuck chocolate. Is chocolate just too sweet for you? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I'm not really big on sweet. Like, sweet is good, but
right.
I'm quickly I'm quickly overpowered by the sweetness of things.
So there's one that I eat. There's a chocolate one, right? There's a blueberry one, and then there's a apple cinnamon one that we've tried recently. That has like my wife put like shaved apple slices in there, kind of thing. Because I don't like chunks for apples, right? It's just too much. I don't know. I don't like kind of thing. But anyways, yeah, overnight oats. If you don't know what that is, fucking look it up. It's fairly cheap to make, and it can serve as like your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, depending on which one you make. It doesn't matter. You could eat them all day, and you could literally eat that 3 times a day. It'd be healthy for you, and it's not super expensive. So it's not as cheap as $5 over 2 weeks. So it's not that cheap.
Value options. These are the Xbox Game Passes of food.
Right. Yeah, it really is. I mean, oatmeal and Greek yogurt, like, it's not expensive. So, anyways, boys, we've been playing this week.
Playing? Like video games?
Actual video games. This isn't a food podcast. It is a video game podcast.
Did I tell you guys I finished Zelda?
You did. You put it in the chat.
I rolled credits, man. I rolled credits on Zelda. 115 hours, I think I clocked.
Review when?
Right now.
Zelda good.
Yeah, so I know. I remember I asked you if it was your game of the year. And I think... Yeah, weren't you saying that it's like kind of the only major game you've bought so far this year?
Yeah, I think it's the only thing that I've played that's came out this year that could be in the front running. Like, I'm not going to put Friends versus Friends on there. Right. I'm not going to put BattleBit on there. Zelda's definitely it for me right now.
I think BattleBit could be in like a conversation of like, because how many games come out and they're just done? Like, you know, like it's had hot fixes and stuff like that, but not like you're not going to see like major content. Not like Diablo, you know what I mean, and all that other kind of stuff. Like, it just came out. It's a complete game. They fix some bugs. It's good shit. We don't get enough of that these days.
It's definitely kind of the zeitgeist right now. I see it's maintaining like top 10 on Steam pretty consistently so far. So we'll see how it shakes up throughout the year. I was playing that earlier. I love BattleBit. BattleBit is an absolute joy.
Funny. It's too funny.
Yeah.
You want to tell your story that you were telling me before the podcast?
About the guy who had to take a shit?
Yeah.
I loaded up and jumped into a Jeep or whatever and jumped into ProxChat. I was like, hey, all right, load up. I'm driving. And then a bunch of dudes got in and we were just kind of bantering on our way to Objective A. And this dude like stops us on the road. Is like, wait, let me in. And I let him jump in. And we're trucking along. And he's like, I know this is embarrassing. I'm sorry to say this, but I really got to take a shit. Can we pull over? And I was like, oh, sure thing, buddy. And he pull over on the side of the road. And he like gets out of the car and he just like runs off into the woods. And you just hear like a... and he comes back like, are you all right, buddy? He's like, yeah, man, the stress. It's my first time. How long have you been enlisted, dude? Like 3 hours. All right. Well,
3 hours.
We're going to point A. Just some goofy shit, man. I absolutely enjoy all of the proximity chat. It's definitely like bad stuff that can happen with proximity chat.
Right. 100%.
Like my friend told me, they picked up the game based on my recommendation of like proc chat and things being really fun. Yeah. And their first match, they're playing and somebody dropped the N-bomb immediately, and they're just spouting in chat.
Yeah.
But a little wholesome. Literally everyone in the lobby just started in sync chanting shame on this person until they just shut up and quit the game. So you know, even funny. The bad things, like there's a silver lining in that.
Yeah, no, I like seeing the videos of people like at the beginning of matches and they'll all like be like making monkey noises, like they're all running towards the first point and they're like it's just absolute monkey insanity brain. It's the only game that I currently deal with prox chat. Like, I'll have it on, right? I was playing Insurgency the other day, and somebody started playing music in proc chat, and I immediately shut it off. Right? Like, but in BattleBit, I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, play your Katy Perry. Let's fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the vibe is different.
Yeah, I was gonna say the energy feels like Halo 2 Xbox Live days, man. Everybody's just like on the mic and just being goofy and shit, and it's fine.
Right.
Yeah, something about it's just like not as frustrating as like if there's 5 of you and someone is in your headset 24/7 just blaring it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the aesthetic of the game, right? Because it's like Roblox, Minecraft aesthetic, right? So like nobody's like there's not an immediate like like there's not like a try hard vibe to it kind of thing.
Yeah, not at all.
So like unless compared to like you boot up like Ghost Recon Breakpoint or Rainbow Six Siege or even Insurgency, you know what I mean? All those games, realistic graphics, like blowing people's like legs off and shit, you know. And the only thing you're really blowing up in BattleBit is helicopters and buildings. You know what I mean? Like there's just not, you know, there's not like real gore or anything in it. I don't know. They did it
very casual vibe.
Right, which you know what, for me these days, that's what I'm all about. I'm not trying to get sweaty out here anymore. You know what I mean? Just kind of drop in, drop out kind of thing, and not feel bad about it. So I don't know.
The only sweat I get in BattleBit is working up a sweat from role playing.
Yeah, or laughing.
A lot of goofy ass role play.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, BattleBit. It's such a. I'm really curious how, like you were talking about earlier, the staying power. Like we've already hit. They've kind of probably already hit like the monthly goal, right? We're like, okay, we had consistent. Now, can we keep it up for a quarter? Now, can we keep it up for a year? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I'm really curious how they'll keep people engaged long term, because as good as it is that it just released as a complete game, gamers inherently these days, I feel like myself, I'm probably the worst out of our little group about this, has ADHD when it comes to switching between games and stuff like that. So like, how are you going to keep people coming back all the time, even though it is a great experience, you know?
That is something I saw people discussing. Like someone was complaining on like the Steam forums about how the game makes you unlock everything, right? So each weapon, you have to get X number of kills to unlock whatever attachment for the weapon, and you rank up to unlock other weapons. And I think that goes a long way for the average gamer. Like just having some linear progression to work towards will keep people engaged because they want to get whatever gun that they don't have yet.
Right.
So they've got that in place. They have a prestige system in place. So I imagine, I imagine that will.
Sorry.
I'm not sure what you unlock. I think like camouflage and like different customization items for your soldier.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Tim turned on the camera or not. Fucking pop this. Nope, it's not me.
He's on his phone.
Okay. Oh, he's on his
phone. No, my camera shouldn't be on. I'm on my phone. I haven't got home yet. I'm still.
My bad.
Leaving work.
My bad. For some reason, I thought you were at the house. That's my fault.
No.
Do you have a second to tell us what you've been playing this week?
I have been playing a lot of Xbox 360 games. I've been playing Armored Core quite a bit. And then I was also playing real life PC building simulator where it wasn't actually a simulator. Upgraded both rigs. Had to update the BIOS on the home theater rigs to support the 5600X when I plopped that in there. It was a good little experiment. And then in order to test bench, just see where we're at on both systems, I played Halo and Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I mean,
how'd they do?
It do good. Halo before was like making the R5 2600 I had in the home theater rig kind of like crash. It wasn't really able to keep up if I didn't lock it to 60.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the 5600X, it runs like a dream. It's faster. It's smoother. It gets a little hot because it's a mid tower case. With a 5600X and a 6700 XT, but at least I'm not a psychopath and put up a 3090 in there, so I should be good.
Yeah, I've actually given up on trying to keep my case closed, and I just popped off the side. I might put it back on during the winter, but during the summer it's just too fucking hot. You know what I mean? Like,
do you have front fans? Like, do you have adequate airflow?
I have front fans. I have not side fans. I have front fans. I have a couple on the top, and I have one in the back. This kind of thing. So
does it actually have decent ventilation? Like, I'm confused how it gets so hot.
Because it's hot, Tim. Like it's just hot in my fucking house. Like
Tim's gonna take a visit and troubleshoot this.
I mean, if he wants, I don't have an extra room for you to sleep in, but I got 2 comfy couches. So
I mean, like I haven't slept on a couch or a floor before. Come on, especially at your house. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I won't make you sleep on the floor. My daughter made a fort, and she's currently sleeping in that tonight. So there's that.
Nice.
Just leave the fort up. There's my camping site right there. That's where I'm sleeping in the fort. Let's go.
But yeah, no, I've just kind of given up on the side panel thing because, I mean, it's not a big deal in most games. But if I boot up like Diablo, Insurgency is a big one. Just kind of any like graphically like intensive game, this gets hot really fast. I never had that issue with a full tower. But when I was like, oh, I want my Hero Academia mid tower,
yes,
all my thing,
Midoriya.
No, I think I don't know if Midoriya is on here. I think it's all Might. I can't see.
Oh shit!
Have I told you my plan, my devious plan for a future build?
Put it in Nintendo GameCube because that's my dream build.
No, I wish. There are mini PCs that you could game on that are about that size. That I mean, you're not playing 4K, but like they'll run. But what I was gonna do, what I'm thinking about doing, you remember when we were in high school when people were doing like Xbox 360 PC builds?
Yeah.
Or old school Xbox.
Like a modern, the old school Xbox is a little easier to work in, and that would be cool too. But like, I would love to do like a small form factor Xbox 360 gaming PC build. And like, I saw a video, you can actually wire up the buttons so that like the power button will work, the player one light will come on, and if you wire it up correctly, the RF receiver for an Xbox 360 controller will just work with your PC.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be
sweet. Yeah, I think that'd be the play right there. We'd be like, wow, that's a really old console. Would they come out in 2005 and be like, haha, bitch? put Steam OS on there. You'd be like, you ever seen an Xbox 360 run Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the GameCube sleeper builds, honestly. A big piece is because of how small it is, but it also comes with a handle. So any like transportation, it's built in, real easy.
When I got into PCs, that was always my dream to have like a tiny little portable PC that I could bring wherever.
Yeah, that's probably if I decide to build from the ground up, I will probably, because that's I've thought about that. It'd just be nice to like utilize more of the desk space for monitors instead of tower.
You should check out. There's this case by Fractal Designs called the Terra. It is such a cute little case. Like, we have them, and I was like, oh my god, it's so tiny. It's like, it is. It's gorgeous. It's all like aluminum construction. It's got wood on it. Fractal is the company also does the Fractal North, which has like a wood panel in front. Like, they make really cool looking cases that are pretty high end. They're really popular. And the Terra, I was like, dang, if I wanted to do a small form factor build today, I'd probably buy that. I don't want to do it today.
Right.
I want to do it at some point. And I'm like, I'm going to buy a 4 parts of Xbox 360. Maybe it's a Halo, like Elite one.
Yeah.
With the orange metal accents and stuff. And like, go with that. That could be sick.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it'd be, these are obviously like further down the road things because computer parts are expensive. But it'd be cool to do. I would be very excited to have the extra cash to be able to do something like that right about now. But unfortunately, things are expensive here in America. Your everyday items, so we're probably not doing that for a while. Real quick, I've been playing randomness. I've been playing 2042 lately. My sleep schedule is all sorts of jacked up, like just really poorly messed up right now. So So I don't like have a whole lot of I haven't had a whole lot of time for games due to that kind of thing. So 24-2 is really easy. You drop in, nobody gives a shit, so you can just do whatever you want, right? And I always love a good rush match. Like that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite FPS game type is rush.
Is that just like attack the point?
Yeah, where you have the 2 points you got to blow up, right, and then you move from sector to sector kind of thing. Doing that, there's like 3 or 4 of those on a map kind of thing. The only thing that I'm kind of disappointed about is that in this newer Battlefield, I don't know why, but you don't like switch sides after the first, like, it used to be like the first round, right? And they would go as far as they could, whoever the attackers were. And if it got stopped or if they didn't, it didn't really matter. But then after that round was over, it would switch, and then the defenders would become the attackers, vice versa or whatever. And then you'd run it again, kind of thing. And that was one match. It'd take up like 30 to 45 minutes, kind of thing. Like it was a decent, depending on how long. Like if you got stopped in the first sector, like it's like 15 minutes, right? Like y'all got fucking rocked, kind of thing. But if each team was able to complete it, it would generally take like 30, 45 minutes. And it's just a good time. You just be racking up kills. There's no break in fucking playing the game. It's just constant. Like you're just in there. You're just killing the shit. Yeah. So I've been playing a little bit of that. I was, and this is probably a good transition, going to play Diablo Season 1. Is what I was gonna do. And then the patch notes came out the other day. And it's not good, Jim. It's not good at all.
I've heard people are not too happy about the patch.
So here's the problem. The patch is huge. Like it's a 1.1 patch kind of thing. It's not like smaller, like some of the smaller patches they did when it first came out. They, just to put it really simply, they made everything in the game harder and made you weaker. Is what they did, kind of thing. So people are pissed off about that.
That actually addresses one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been playing as much. Is I found it too easy before, so I almost wonder if I'll like it more now that everyone else hates it.
That's because you didn't reach level 50, did you? Not yet.
No, I haven't beat the campaign.
So
I was like, this shit's too easy.
So I will say the level 1 to 50 is really easy. 50 to 60, it gets a lot more grindy immediately, basically, when you start having to run like Hell Tides and Nightmare Dungeons and stuff like that. But to put in perspective, I don't know how accurate this is, but this is what I've heard, is that the experience that you need to get from level 1 to 85 is the same amount of experience that you need to get from 85 to 100. Just to like put that in perspective. So, and that was before the patch. I don't remember obviously everything about the patch, but they made like the mobs are harder. I don't know if they have as much experience. I don't know if they buffed that or nerfed that. There's just a lot of nerfs. And then for somebody like me who's playing Sorcerer, which already had like the worst end game classes kind of thing, and they got nerfed into the fucking ground. Like they got the biggest nerfs out of every class. It was just like kind of disappointing. They didn't fix the ability to play Necro with minions. Like there's still not like a super viable build for that. Like you can play Necromancer, but you're probably sacrificing all your minions for the buffs you get for doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just overall it's been very disappointing. They're apparently going to have a fireside chat on Friday. The fuck's going to change? You know what I mean? Like.
Hey everybody, we know there's been some contention about the new patch that we've put out.
Yeah.
But we want to assure you that... Fuck you.
Yeah, to be fair to them.
Oh, and by the way, we're still canceling Overwatch.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. They are doing that. Yeah.
Wasn't that their last fireside chat? Wasn't that the Blizzard last one was like, hey, fuck y'all, we're not doing PvE?
Well,
wasn't their last fireside?
So Diablo's having something separate from just like an overall Blizzard thing. That Overwatch one was also something separate from Diablo, like in general. Like it was just their own dev teams doing on the side, not like an overarching like Blizzard like
I understand. I understand that. I just think it's funny that like Blizzard has had to do 2 of them, and both of the times it's because they're fucking up.
They just did one. Diablo just had one like 2 weeks ago. They've actually done like 3 for Diablo already, and it's not always for bad things. This is kind of like trying to connect with the community, which is like I think a lot of people do appreciate, especially like in the Diablo community. It just, to be fair to the devs, right? They know. So for season 1, they have these things called malignant hearts. Like that's like the mechanic that they're adding for season 1, and that could like power scale you immensely to where these nerfs don't matter as much, kind of thing. But as of right now, like if on any of your Eternal Realm characters, which is like all these characters everybody made before the first season came out, those the damage output on those were nerfed by like 60% for some people. It's just a lot. Wow. Yeah, so people are pretty upset. And we'll see. I'll probably still jump in because I do have the battle pass. I bought the deluxe edition, so I want to take advantage of that a little bit, kind of thing. It's just unfortunate because they had such good momentum heading into this kind of thing, and then just like I saw somebody say because Path of Exile had a similar thing happen, but it didn't happen in the beginning. Somebody was like, "You're generally supposed to release like 10 good years of patches before you have the one that kills the game. It's not normally the first one." You know what I mean? Like, it was just it kind of had me laughing.
It feels like the Diablo devs are riding their bicycle and then they're just taking this stick of patch notes and ramming it into their front tire.
100%. Like, because at the core of the game is still really good. Like, it's still fun. I'm just not a grindy person. So once I get to that point where I'm just grinding for gear for like a 0.2% upgrade on my cooldown reduction, which they also nerfed, by the way, I just don't like, and that's probably why I might never.
Isn't that the whole game?
No, so I really enjoyed the campaign, and that's what kind of had me roll in. Like, I enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed exploring like all the locations, fighting world bosses. Hell Tides are fun. Nightmare Dungeons are okay, but you know what I mean. They have a bunch of like separate mechanics that individually are fun. It's just when it gets to that piece where like, okay, like I'm okay with this, but I'm not going to spend 6 hours on this game today grinding for gear. Like, I want to do other...
You've already experienced the content.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I want to do other things than just grind for gear. I don't mind that being part of the loop, necessarily, as long as I'm doing something else, kind of thing. But when I'm just grinding for gear, that's kind of when I check out, which is why I personally don't normally stick with a lot of MMOs, right? Like, I'll have fun with them and stuff like that, but as soon as I hit that grinding part, I'm normally out. I got other games I can go play and accomplish way more in the same amount of time. You know what I mean? So I mean, but hopefully they do some hot fixes. They already did a couple hot fixes with the new update. Because apparently like the cinders you get from Hell Tides were like heavily reduced. So like they fixed that and they fixed some other things. But we'll see what happens here on Friday with that fireside chat type deal. So.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, think about it this way. You bought this game, so you own it. Mm-hmm. So why don't you just, not update the game and just play it offline?
I would love to. You know what I've actually been thinking about doing? Is I heard about a really good mod for Diablo 1 that has a lot of like really good improvements and stuff to it. And I was like, Diablo 1 at this point is the only one I haven't beaten. Right?
Oh,
so I was just like, maybe I go on GOG, buy Diablo 1, get a mod for it, and just play through that. So, because it'd be cheap.
Ooh, buy the Hellfire mods already on there, and then you install the other mods on there. There you go.
So I don't know. The mod I was looking at playing was Beelzebub, which apparently is a super popular mod for it. I don't think it is compatible with the Hell. I forget what it's called. Hell something. You just said it.
Isn't that compatible with Hellfire?
I'm not sure. I did a little bit of research on it yesterday because I just heard about it yesterday.
The The version that's available on GOG is Diablo plus Hellfire. I don't think you can buy Diablo without. I think you can turn it off though in the launch menu.
Right. So yeah. So I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I was thinking about doing it. But I mean, Remnant comes out in 5 days. So that was
on to the next.
That was my next game on the list, kind of thing. So yeah, I might just go play some Remnant 2 because that game, much like Diablo when it released, is looking fucking fantastic. Holy shit, that game's looking good. Probably the only Dark Soul-esque type of game that I'm wholly here for. I don't need an Elden Ring. I will bash my head against the wall in fucking Remnant. I fucking love Remnant. It's such a good game. So
something about it.
Yeah. You know what? I was watching some people talk about it. They said that one of their favorite pieces or things about it is the hitboxes are so well made, kind of thing. Like where you shoot is where the damage is going. So if you want to hit like those like weak points and stuff, if you're shooting at the weak point, you're gonna hit the weak point. It's gonna do the extra damage, which is obviously a big deal in a shooter like that. So I don't know.
I play Dark Souls. Don't talk to me with hitboxes. Hey, give me PTSD with the hitbox talk.
Yeah, that's definitely a big topic of discussion in all the Souls games as well. Just like these hitboxes.
Yeah. So. Other than that, I think something that we could talk about a little bit today is Microsoft Activision. Obviously, is going to happen. So I don't know if you guys are aware. Microsoft Activision agreed to push back the merger till October, but it's probably going to close by the end of August. They pushed it to October just so they had plenty of time to go through the regulatory process with the CMA, whatever that ends up being. I talked about last week how I would just get rid of the cloud option in the UK if that's what it came to, and that's kind of sounds like what they're doing. They're just going to sell off those rights to an internet company called EE, is what the speculate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a UK electric company or internet company.
English Ethernet.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it stands for. I have no idea. That's the rumor going around. They're going to sell off the cloud piece to them and then run everything else. So it looks like by the end of August, it'll be through, and all the old school Call of Duties, which have apparently been updated, and you can go and play those multiplayer. If you own those games, you can go play those in multiplayer right now, and people are playing them. Black Ops, like I literally saw a video of a dude, original Black Ops, like the 360 version on his Series X. He downloaded it, loaded it up, and I watched him get in a match. I was just like, he just randomly matched some dude in the UK.
I would like to say, so like, there's a lot of them that have added backwards compatibility, but like Black Ops, you've been able to do that. I've been playing Black Ops from time to time on my series. Like, yeah, you can get matches on the 360 version still. It's amazing.
Yeah,
weird.
It's crazy. But the joke was, I saw this joke that more people are playing Black Ops 1 than are playing Halo Infinite. So
can you imagine when these games all come to Game Pass? Like, there's going to be people that never played Black Ops. They're going to be hopping in. You're not just going to have all of the salty vets. You're going to have rookies.
Yeah.
Old school revival.
Well, and what came in addition to this is like apparently there was a patch done to the multiplayer servers in anticipation. It looks like in anticipation of the merger closing. So, I mean, I'm here for it, kind of thing. We can load up some old school Black Ops on Game Pass. Thank God that's happening at the end of August because I'm getting rid of Game Pass for a month.
For a month,
so that I can. I'm getting rid of Ultimate. You all heard me yelling about this last week or the week before. I can't remember. I'm still mad about it. We don't play the Xbox that much. So why the fuck do I have Ultimate? Especially with so they released released new Game Pass tiers, right? They just killed Xbox Live Gold, and
finally
they rolled the EA Play stuff as part of your PC Game Pass, not part of the Xbox Game Pass because fuck you if you're
already been that
Xbox. Basically, yeah. I'll just save $7 a month and just get my PC one. But I'm going to take the break so I can get the dollar deal.
Nice.
That's
so fun. Yeah, they're like rebranding. They're 4 tiers of Game Pass now.
Yeah. So you're gonna have Game Pass Core. You'll have Game Pass Core. So you don't get games with gold anymore, which I don't think anybody's crying about that. The offerings for that haven't been super great for a while. But so you can get games with gold, or not games with gold. Games with gold is going away. They're bringing with Game Pass Core, you don't get access to the entire library. You get access to 25 games, and there's a lot of really good games on there. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't have the list in front of me. But
yeah, a lot of good titles.
Yeah,
Hellblade.
Hellblade is on there. I think they've released 18 of the 25 or something like that. I don't know if they've released all 25 are. But yeah, and if you have Xbox Live Gold right now, it'll switch automatically to Game Pass Core. I think it's September 14th. It's sometime in the first couple of weeks of September. So you can get Game Pass Core, and then you can up. This is debatable in my opinion. You can upgrade to Game Pass Console, which you get rid of any multiplayer.
It's an addition too.
I mean, if you want to pay more, yeah. If you want to pay $20, which nobody will, right? And this is kind of like the marketing scheme behind this. You can have Game Pass Core and Game Pass Console, which will give you full access to all the Game Pass, the Game Pass library. If you don't have Game Pass Core, you won't have any multiplayer capabilities. Is like the big deal between those two, right? So the idea being that they're just trying to get people to sign up for Game Pass Ultimate, even if you don't have a PC, which doesn't make sense to me. Makes zero sense to me, but it is what it is. That's the push. They want everybody to sign up for Game Pass Ultimate kind of thing. And then there's also Game Pass PC, which obviously automatically comes built in with multiplayer because it's a PC. You get EA Play, you get full access to Game Pass, and I think that's the same amount as Game Pass Console. I think they're both $10.99.
Yeah, they're both $10.99. Or yeah, because Game Pass PC was $9.99. It's going up by $1, I think.
On their infographic, PC is $9.99 a month. Core is $9.99 a month.
So it's $1 cheaper. Which I don't know. I have problems with this, and Tim and I have gone back and forth with this. I think overall Tim's position is nothing overall has changed. It's just some branding changes, other than the killing of the games with gold, right? Like that's going away and it's being replaced with 25 games. I'm irritated personally about this whole thing because you are changing something. You had an opportunity to make this better, right? Basically, I understand that like PlayStation doesn't make multiplayer free on their service kind of thing outside of like Fortnite and things like that, which Xbox already got yelled at. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I know there was a point in time where people were trying to play Fortnite on their Xbox, and they couldn't because they didn't have Xbox Live Gold. So there was a huge uproar about it, basically, because Fortnite's a free-to-play game, and they're just trying to play it. And so then that changed, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Xbox or Microsoft came down and went, okay, we hear you. We'll change it. No biggie, right? I think they've missed on an opportunity, especially after they had this Microsoft court case against Activision. They were like, we're clearly third in console sales. We're third across the board and basically any fucking metric. I believe, in my opinion, if they would have made multiplayer free across the board on all their tiers, right? Especially with how much PC's been integrated into Game Pass, because like my biggest thing about Game Pass, right, is like I'm paying for a worse experience to play on my Xbox if I have Ultimate compared to my computer, right? That's not the case for everybody. That's just my personal case. But like Starfield is going to be a worse experience on Xbox than it is on PC, at least at the frame rate. How that works, like optimization wise and whatnot, we'll see. But why am I paying for multiplayer access when I have a computer? You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think that they could have used that when these parents are out buying Xboxes versus a PlayStation. And be like, well, I have to pay for multiplayer for a PlayStation, but I don't for an Xbox. so I'll go ahead and buy this Series S for my kid, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they could have really beefed up the
marketing
service.
Point.
Right. They could have really beefed up the service with a couple simple things. Especially when like multiplayer being free on PC. Like, and you have EA Play integrated into the Game Pass on PC and it's not on console. Like, I don't understand that at all. Like, it's $1 cheaper too. Like, I don't like that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you should at least get the access to play the whatever EA Play game single player if you don't have the if you don't have like the multiplayer option, right? So it's just weird, right? Like, I don't feel like for $11 basically that the console tier in general offers really anything, kind of thing. You get I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of the weird one, but at the same time I'm not, you know.
It really did strike me as weird looking at this, because I feel like usually these are tiered, right? Like silver is like a worse version of gold. Gold has everything silver has and more. PlayStation, that's how their thing works. It's like 100%. A hierarchy. But now with Game Pass, you have core, which gives you the online multiplayer, 25 games to play, members deals and discounts. And then you go to console, which is the next one, and it's not like a tier up. It's just like to the side where you get a bunch more games that you can play,
right?
But not multiplayer. You cannot play multiplayer, which is just like really weird to me. So it's like if you like multiplayer games, you'll get core and just not have access to a bunch of Game Pass games.
Yeah.
Or if you like console, that's if you like single player games and you don't want to play multiplayer. Or, we'll just bully you by presenting you with these two options because it's a better value to get Ultimate for $16.99 and get all of this stuff.
Yeah, this, in my opinion, reinforces their lack of support for the console. Right, because the console only, like the main console version of Game Pass is the worst out of all the tiers, right? Like, why would I pay for it with no multiplayer? I just don't like in today's age.
It's that way now. Like, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but it is that way right now before the change. They would have saved themselves the hassle if they just said nothing.
No, they wouldn't. Like, just because that's the status quo doesn't mean it's okay. This is the same argument we had with Starfield. It really is. Just because 30 FPS has been the same, like the status quo for 20 years doesn't mean it's good. Like, this is a horribly missed opportunity for Microsoft to improve their service. Like, there's not a whole lot that they can do outside of just buying studios and adding games to improve their service. But adding multiplayer for free across all tiers is a simple thing that they could do. That is a huge, that in my opinion, would be huge for marketing. I don't know. Like, once again, I'm not gonna, I guess I'm gonna be critical of Microsoft when I think that they're doing something dumb. This is dumb. Like, just like, if it's for the player, do this for your consumer. Kind of thing. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. Like, are you really losing that much money by not offering the multiplayer service at this point? Like, I just don't understand. They added, I don't know if you guys saw this, they added like $140 billion to their fucking market cap today because of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Is like 99% chance of going through at this point.
Yeah, so, I think they should have just, honestly, if they wanted to save the hassle and please more people, not have core. Game Pass is just gold now. Game Pass gets you the
I agree with that. Yeah, they should have skipped core. I agree with that.
I want to just clarify my whole stance on this thing. It's not that I don't think multiplayer should be free. I do.
Yeah.
I 100% do. And it's not that you're right. It is shitty. But my whole point is, like, they're third place in the market. They're already trying to offer the most comprehensive subscription service on the market. They're already trying to do all these things to claw back market share. I only expect them to do so much, like to bend over backwards so much and be like, look at us, we're consumer friendly. But like, they still do have to make
some money, and so I don't mind the push to Ultimate, but also I am gonna just subscribe to Ultimate because I play on my Xbox. My son plays on my Series S games that I don't own, like Minecraft. I don't own Minecraft. He has almost 800 hours in the bitch. Like I'm not, like I'm not even worried about it. I play Game Pass games on my PC and my Xbox, but he mostly does it on there. I actually can't wait for them to give me the damn family tier so I can just enroll in the family tier, so I can play on my Xbox while he plays on there.
Speaking of, that's being rolled back.
I'm waiting for them to give me a more expensive tier, and you're, you know what?
It's not. If I was in the same boat as you, right, where I was given a reason to actually play my Xbox, which is where a lot of my frustration comes from, right? There's for people like us, right? Because if your son wasn't playing the Xbox, I feel like you'd be in the same boat as me. If we're not like playing the Xbox, what the fuck's the point? And nothing that they're offering is pushing people to actually play the, like, it doesn't have to be a huge push, but there should be some reason for me to want the console over my PC. And there's, outside of potentially the price difference, right? Which when you start adding in, if you're starting from scratch, you got to buy the console, which has gone up in price in most of the world, and you got to buy a TV kind of thing, like, to just play, and maybe a second controller because it only comes with one controller, right? Like, you're looking at comparative pricing to a PC at that point. So, like, what is the difference? I don't get it.
I don't feel like they're trying to compete in the PCs against PCs. Like, I don't think they're trying to say, hey, buy this Xbox instead of a PC.
No, they just want to get you on Game Pass, and they don't care if you're playing on PC or on here. And that's their whole point.
But the problem is that they're not even giving you a reason to play on the console. Like if you have the monetary, the funds to buy even an average PC, it doesn't have to be something like what I got with the 3090 that I spent $2,000 on, and a 5800X I think is what I have as like my CPU. Like, I have very recent hardware. Like, if you can get an average computer, and it's gonna be better for you than buying an Xbox because you have access to the entire catalog plus EA Play now on PC compared to console, which you only have Game Pass. Like, you only have Game Pass and you don't get the multiplayer. Like, what the fuck's? I don't understand the point. I don't get it.
Depends. See, again, I think they save themselves a headache if they just kill. There's no core Game Pass. It's just Game Pass with the multiplayer.
I don't disagree with that. I actually really agree with that.
That kills this whole argument in the way that I look at it. But to me, you're looking at this kind of, to get a performance equivalent PC to an Xbox Series X. You're not looking at the same price range. You're looking at $1,000 or more.
No, it's not $1,000.
Performance equivalent?
It's like $700-800, especially when you're looking at outside the US where they've raised the price for the Xbox across the planet.
If you want to build a I'll call it 600. You're including an extra controller, right? Your console comes with a controller, but if you're
looking outside the US, you're looking at $700.
Right,
is what you're looking at.
Okay. $700 PC gets you a 1650 Ti, a 1660, a 3050. A 3060 cost $350.
A 3050 would be fine.
Like, a 3050 does not perform the same as I work at a PC store.
Well, I understand that.
A 3050 does not compete with my Series X.
But my point is that you can buy that 3050 and whatever other parts you get with it, right? You can buy that, and you're going to get a better Game Pass experience than you get buying the fucking console. Like, you can get all the Battlefields or whatever. You can get whatever EA is offering through EA Play in addition to Game Pass. So, like, why am I buying the console? Like, it doesn't make sense at this point, right? Like, especially when they're not even reaching the same promises that when they were talking about the Xbox Series X coming out, right? And like, oh, we're talking about 120 FPS, blah, 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 XYZ, and they're marketing and all this other stuff, and they're still releasing games at 30 FPS. Like, you'll get more settings options on a PC to be able to run things better than you can get on an Xbox. You have more workarounds to make things run better. Like, it just there's literally nothing out there for a reason to buy an Xbox. They don't have exclusives. All their games are on the PC. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I can think of one reason.
What's that?
You just push a button and you play it.
I mean, you don't got to worry about the PC environment, because PC is more in depth. Period. No matter what PC you're on, there's more work to gaming than there is on an Xbox. So if you're a true console gamer, you like to press a button on your controller, your Xbox turns on, and you're in your games. There are reasons to buy a console over a PC if you're not into all the extra stuff. If you're just, you want to say you got 3 hours a week to play video games and you're 38-year-old dad, you just play COD a few days a week, whatever your game is, Madden,
3 hours. If you have 3 hours to play a week, you need to buy a fucking Steam Deck. Is what you need to buy. You'll up your amount of time you can play. Like,
believe me, he's right.
100%. Once again, in that case, I'm gonna tell people to buy a Steam Deck. I'm not gonna tell them to buy an Xbox, or I'll tell them to buy an Asus ROG, not an Xbox. Like, this is my problem and my point with this whole thing. The part of the reason why they're third in a lot of these things is because they're not doing simple things like making multiplayer free across all their tiers to make it enticing to buy their stuff outside of Game Pass. Game Pass, in and of itself, there's no argument that it as a subscription service is the best value, really across any of the entertainment, right? Like, I'm talking Netflix, Peacock, any of that kind of shit. You're not getting the same entertainment value, right? But when you're talking specifically in the gaming space, there's just no reason. I would say you're better off, especially now that they have the upgraded version of the Series S with the higher storage space. Like, that's what you should buy. If you're gonna get an Xbox, that's what you should buy. There's just no point in buying the Series X.
Yeah, if you don't care about physical media.
Yeah.
If
most people don't these days. I mean, they just don't.
I understand. So, but if you want to play Bully, there is no digital copy. It's backwards compatible. There is no digital copy.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a Rockstar decision, by the way. That's not Xbox's fault, but it is backwards comp. You just, same with Red Dead Redemption, the original. You can't buy it digitally.
That's because they're going to remaster that. I don't know if you guys
but it's also backwards compatible. Like, I can just pop in my Xbox and play it. So, like, I have reasons to have a disc drive Xbox modern gen console.
I feel like
I'm not we're not the majority though. Like, I've got a fucking stupid expensive PC. I've got another one right there that I just upgraded. I've got a Steam Deck. I've got my Xbox. I got my PS5. I'm not the norm for this.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think even we are the target audience. Like, we have reasons to have physical stuff, not because we have the monetary, like, the funds to buy that stuff necessarily, but because we grew up at a time where there was only discs. You got to think the generation directly behind us. They mostly grew up with the PS4, Xbox One era, right? Because that was 8-9 years kind of thing, and that was the big digital push, and that's why, like, those game players don't give a shit about the physical majority, right? They just want to play the fucking game. They want to play it as soon as possible, so they're just going to download it, kind of thing. So, I mean, but I agree with you, right? I still go back and play NCAA 14 on my 360, right? I can't download NCAA 14 because of marketing rights and all the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even emulate.
And EA's never making that bitch backwards compatible.
No, they're not. So way. You can buy a copy of NCAA 14 for like $100 on fucking eBay and shit. It's crazy, if not more, right? So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just frustrating to me. I just. Xbox has done a lot. They've done a lot of things to, like, make things better for their service. I'm excited to see what they do with Activision Blizzard long term and that kind of thing. But that's the big things. Those are, like, the big scope things. Just really feel like they're missing out on the little stuff here. So
I do think it's kind of funny though, because you're like, I have no reason to play my Xbox.
Oh.
But, like, also, that's not new for you either. I feel like you mostly have your Xbox to occasionally hop on, but for the most part, that's where Emily plays games.
Well, it is where Emily plays games now, right? Which is part of the reason why I told Emily, I was like, hey, because she's been playing Jurassic Park 2 on my computer, right? I was like, hey, you cool if I get rid of this for a month so I can come back and pay $1 for a little while? You know what I mean? And we'll just do it on
And that's
PC.
why she broke your computer.
Oh, my God. I forgot to tell the story. Oh, man. Okay.
Emily broke your computer?
Not really, but she thought she did. This was funny. So I'd been downstairs working out, came up here, said hi, went upstairs, getting ready to take a shower, right? And then all of a sudden I get a text, and it's like, Cody, and I was like, what? Like, because I was just down here, so I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And here, I'll read you what she said. This is fucking funny, because obviously my heart dropped. She said, the computer just shut itself off and won't turn back on. I was just playing dinosaurs. It wasn't making a weird or loud noise or anything. And I was like, what the fuck? My fear being that like my 3090 just fucking died, right? Like that's like my main fear because it's the most expensive fucking part that I have. And so I come down here, and my computer has a quirk to it.
Because it's a My Hero Academia PC?
No, that's actually fuck you. I didn't even think of that. No, it has a small quirk to it, and it's been like this ever since I bought this power supply. But the power cable just doesn't sit like super securely inside the power supply. You can bump it, it'll fall out. It's not a big deal, right? It doesn't. It's like out of the way kind of thing. It's over in the it's in the corner of the wall, so like normally nothing happens. But I literally came in and I reached behind it and I just pushed that shit into the back of the computer, and I immediately saw like my Stream Deck turn on because that's plugged into like the USB cord, the USB in the back or whatever. And I hit the button and it immediately turned on. And she's like, "Oh my God, I was gonna cry. I thought I broke it." Oh man. And I was like, "Well, I'm glad you have the fear of God put in you if you break my PC, because we don't have the money to replace this, and I will be very upset. But I will have plenty of reasons to play my Xbox if that happens." I'll have all the reasons in the fucking world to play it then. Starfield 30 FPS, here I come.
Here I come.
Shit. Yeah. Then I would be like, well, fuck me. I guess this is what we're doing.
I'm a console gamer now.
Yeah, I'm fully a console
for
gamer.
core.
Yeah. Oh shit, not core. I can't even play Starfield on that. I'd have to get Xbox console with no multiplayer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So wacky.
I do think Tim's right though. I do think they should have skipped core altogether and just
just bundle core and whatever the next one were together.
Yeah, the console. Yeah. That just makes way more sense to me. Also, the only reason I think that EA Play isn't part of the console tier is because it doesn't have multiplayer. Now that I think about it. Because like a lot of the games that you're going to play on that EA tier, right? Or through EA Play is going to be like the old Battlefield games, and you'll want to play
or like
the multiplayer.
FIFA, Madden. You need to be. You need connection to their servers because even if you're playing Ultimate Team, even if you're playing it solo, you still need to connect to EA server. That actually makes sense. Yeah. I'm just glad the days of paying for Xbox Live. But then you also had to pay a subscription service to EA to play online. You remember when you used to have to buy a pass to play online? And if you bought a game used and you didn't have the pass, you got to pay a whole $20 extra.
I remember that.
And the pass sometimes came with the game.
Not always.
And sometimes it was just like, here's 1 month, and then you have to buy the pass.
Yeah.
Here's
traditional, most consumer-friendly company ever.
It wasn't just them though. 2K did it. There were a lot of it was mostly sports games, but it wasn't only sports games. I remember there was.
Did Mass Effect 3 do that? Because they had the multiplayer.
No, I don't think I think Mass Effect was when they kind of stopped doing that. It was ME3.
Maybe it was. Okay.
But I remember Medal of Honor. That is what killed Medal of Honor for me.
Which one?
Was Warfighter, the last one they ever made.
I absolutely love
that. I liked it, but then I bought it I tried a demo, and then I bought it on Xbox, and I bought it new, and it didn't come with the code, and I was like, okay, and the campaign was not great. The campaign was super short, or it didn't even have one. I can't remember. But I got through that and I was like, okay, I want to play the multiplayer. And it was like pay $14.99 for the pass. I was like, how much did I pay for this game? Oh, it wasn't a $60 game. It was like a $40 game, and that's why they didn't give me the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just glad those days are dead. It's bad enough that you have to pay a subscription service to Xbox and PlayStation, and it's a lot cheaper, but your Switch, it's bad enough you have to do that. Can you imagine if you had to still do that, because we had to do that then. You still had to do that, but then you also had to pay more to play online for the game that you already bought, and now you're buying a pass for, even though you're to pay to play online. I'm not saying it's good.
Right.
But at least it's not that.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Justin, maybe you'll know a game other than these two that I can think of for Nintendo, because Nintendo's $20 a year, right? It's not expensive at all, kind of thing, when you're thinking about it in the grand scheme of like comparison to the other two console makers. But honestly, there's maybe like 2 or 3 games you want to play multiplayer for on Nintendo, and it'd be like Splatoon, and maybe Pokemon if you're into that, and Mario Kart, and that's it. So like, I don't like
Mortal Kombat. Nobody plays Mortal Kombat on the Switch. I'm sorry, that was mean.
I mean, you might want it. Like, it might be a better offering when like Call of Duty starts coming. Like these old. So that was another
Game Pass is available on there.
Yeah. Oh, probably. But no, when all these older Call of Duties start coming, the rumor is that the older Call of Duties are going to start coming to the Switch as part of the agreement kind of thing that they made with them, and you'll be able to play them, probably some of them natively, because they're 360 games, and if the Switch can't play a fucking 360 game from 20 years ago,
that's like the only thing it plays well.
Yeah,
I'm still convinced that the Anniversary Edition update for Skyrim is just the content, but like I'm still convinced that is the Xbox 360 version of Skyrim, because it's the Xbox 360 version of BioShock Infinite. It's definitely BioShock 1 and 2. It's the 360 version. It's not the Xbox One version. Yeah. Like, you can look at the side by sides of a lot of these games. The Dark Souls remastered on the Switch is not Dark Souls remastered. It is Xbox 360 Dark Souls with the DLC. I swear on my life. If you look at side by sides, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it's so bizarre.
It doesn't surprise me, but I mean, hey, but then that'll give you like another reason to actually have, because like the offerings like outside of the multiplayer. I guess there's Animal Crossing. For those that are still playing that, it's been 3 years or so,
my wife.
like that now.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the main draw.
Longer than 3 years. How old's Animal Crossing now?
No, it came out in 2020.
I don't think that's right. It was one of the first games I bought with my Switch. I don't think I bought it in 2020.
2019, 2020, maybe. It took a while for it to come out.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It wasn't a launch game.
Oh, was it?
It wasn't a launch game. It became a huge thing during the pandemic.
18 or 19. I think it launched either late 18 or in 19, like right before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was 2020 because it was after I came back from my deployment and Emily had cancer. So that's my memory of it. I think it was like March or April of 2020.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The main thing that I use my Nintendo Switch Online subscription for is not to play online games necessarily, although I do play like Pokemon Unite and Mario Kart and shit on there. But a big thing that I like about it is using their little whatever emulators like the N64 and Super Nintendo and all that shit, because that's how you get access to those, is through their online membership.
Right.
They're terrible emulators that run it worse than.
Yeah, some of those are quite bad.
Yeah. Animal Crossing.
Also, Cody, you're right. March 2020. I looked it up.
Because I remember it was another game I was going to play with Justin. There's been 2 games that Justin and I were like, we're going to fucking play this together, right? Yeah. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was the first one. And I fell off of that when I found out I couldn't switch my island from my Switch Lite to my main Switch to then play it on my TV. That shit fucking pissed me off. And I basically stopped playing the game after that. And then it was Pokemon.
Oh yeah, you can't transfer your data between consoles.
You cannot. It's one of the only fucking games on the Switch.
I believe they've changed that now.
Have they? Wait, which part? Because when I was
able to transfer your island to another Switch.
When I was at GameStop, I was trying to help a customer do it, and it was a whole involved process, and it took like an hour and a half, which was bizarre. But then also, I found out you can't transfer SD cards in between Nintendo Switches because every time you put an SD card in a Switch, unless it's formatted, it doesn't format it for the system. It formats it for that Nintendo Switch. It gives it its own signature. So if you take an SD card from your Switch and put it in my Switch is going to be like, do you want to format this card? And otherwise, it doesn't read anything off of it.
I found that out the hard way when I got rid of my old Switch and got an OLED Switch. And so now that micro SD card is sitting up there next to the Switch because it has my completed Legends Arceus save on it. And I don't want to get rid of that necessarily.
I had a bad story too.
What are you going to do with it? You don't have that old Switch anymore. Unless you got that exact one back, that save might as well be dead.
I'm going to try and switch it through my PC at some point. But anyways, what were you saying, Justin?
Me and Andrea played Splatoon 2 for a while when that came out on the Switch. And I was stressing because the game didn't have cloud saves. I was like, well, fuck, dude, if our saves are gone, we're going to have to start over from nothing. So I was like, whatever, I'll just back up our saves on my computer. So I grabbed the SD card, popped it into my computer. Oh, that's weird. Nothing's showing up. That seems strange. Pop it back into my Switch. My fucking Splatoon 2 save, me and Andrea's Splatoon 2 saves just fucking gone. Thanks, Nintendo.
I fucking hate Nintendo sometimes, dude.
Yeah, just nonsense.
I don't like, so I'm a big fan of a lot of the things that all three of the companies do. I love God of War. I love Halo. I used to love Pokemon. What do I love that Nintendo?
What do you love?
Mario?
I don't know what I love about
Maybe
Nintendo
nothing
anymore.
right now.
I love a lot of old things about Nintendo. Anyway, but God, I hate all three companies. There are just things they do. For example, not free multiplayer, not supporting cloud saves in the case of Nintendo. That is one thing I will give Microsoft more credit for than any other company on the planet, even more so than Valve. The ability to not just go between one system and another that are of the same type.
Yeah.
But my cloud saves from my Xbox 360 carry over to my Xbox One. And depending on the game, if I'm launching the game through the Game Pass app on the PC, as long as the developers also supported it, my cloud save from my Xbox Series or my Xbox One will work on my PC. The Xbox cloud save system is phenomenal, and they do a great job with that. Now, if only they would fix some of the other shit they do.
Yeah, and they don't paywall it like PlayStation does.
Yes.
Or doesn't Nintendo also?
I don't think they paywall all the. So I don't know if they. I can't remember if they paywall cloud saves, but I know
it's part of online.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And I don't think you don't need gold to use cloud saves on Xbox.
You don't.
No, never have.
You just have cloud saves on Xbox, which is nice. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, PlayStation paywalling the fucking cloud saves. Why? This not gonna have me ranting about PlayStation like I was about Xbox. It's just the little. That's probably
about all of them one week or another. It just depends on who it is.
Yeah, it's just it's just because all this stuff is little stuff that would just enhance the consumer experience that doesn't need to be paywalled, kind of thing.
Yeah. So
and it's
the FTC is supposed to protect consumers, right?
Yeah.
So instead of going after the merger, why the fuck aren't they going after shit like that?
Because they're fucking stupid.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? There was another $69 billion merger that went through the CMA with no issues recently. I forget what company.
They must have not been trying to do anything with cloud gaming.
Yeah,
the most important market.
Actually, I think they were internet companies, if I'm being honest. I can't remember which companies it was. I just saw it in the OLED feed. I was scrolling through and I saw it and I was just like, fucking shit is stupid. Anyways, so it's been an hour, boys. You got anything else you wanted to hit on today, other than me ranting about fucking Microsoft?
Yes.
What's up, bud?
Tim, what is your hat?
You can't really read it. What is it? Is it Mortal Kombat?
Star Wars?
Yep.
Japanese Star Wars? Samurai Stormtroopers.
Star Wars Visions, their little anime shorts that they did.
Yes.
It says Trooper in kanji.
Nice.
Oh.
I didn't know that until somebody at my work told me that. I just bought it because it's got Stormtroopers on it. I was like, I watched Visions. I like that hat. That's a cool looking hat. Bought it when I was at GameStop because we were selling it. And then at work the other day, somebody was like, "Hey, I love how your hat just has Stormtroopers on it," and then it just says Trooper in Japanese. I go, "Oh,
is that what it says?"
Is that what it says? That's cool.
One of those Americans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What does it say? Cock.
I don't know. I like Visions. It was a really good show. And it matches my fit.
I will say I didn't watch all the Visions. I did watch that one, and that was a super cool like animated short that they did.
The Jedi one was, or not the Jedi one, the one about the duel in the little village where the guy was supposed to think he was a Jedi the whole time.
And then he pulls out the red saber, dude. That was baller.
Yes.
Give me more Star Wars Visions. That was a phenomenal little series.
Well, they announced the second season. I think it's out now, but it's definitely not all anime. It's a lot of different animation styles like claymation and stuff.
You know something I've noticed is that when companies do those little spinoffs like that, because Halo had that, right? What is it called?
Halo Legends. That's why I keep calling Star Wars Legends.
Yeah, but like, do you guys remember the Matrix did something similar?
The Animatrix.
Yeah, they had the Animatrix. Like, I feel like when companies do that kind of stuff, it's fucking bangers across the board. Like, all of them are super fucking good.
You want me to watch anime? Make it a Star Wars anime. Make it a Cyberpunk anime. Make it a Halo anime. Make it something I already care about.
Star
and then
Wars,
I'm there.
You have Star Wars anime, kind of. It's on Disney Plus.
Bad Batch doesn't count, even though it's great.
Not Bad Batch.
Clone Wars
Bad
doesn't
Batch.
count. Oh,
Clone Wars is what I'm
you're
thinking.
talking about Vision. I just told you I watched Visions. What I'm saying is
I'm thinking of Clone Wars and like Bad Batch and all that kind of stuff.
That's not anime.
No, it's
animated.
Yeah, but it's not Japanese.
That's
anime.
Merca style.
Cartoons. It is. Yeah, it's good though. I mean,
yeah, it's great.
You can watch it with your son, and he'll probably fucking love it. Honestly.
Oh, we've watched all of Bad Batch, and we've watched a good chunk of Clone Wars.
Tim, did you watch the Cyberpunk anime? Because there is one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fucking.
I still haven't watched it.
If you make an anime about if they made a Fallout anime and it was like
a
bajillion seasons long, yeah, I'd watch that shit.
Yeah,
I watched the Witcher anime movie that was on there. Like, there's a lot.
That's pretty good.
If you make an IP, an anime based on an IP that I give a shit about, I will watch it. If you make an IP,
Tim will not.
Japanese anime that I've never heard of, that's just like teenage kids in some weird Scooby-Doo adventure for bullshit reasons, I'm out. I'm okay.
Tim is very set in his IPs.
Right,
yeah,
Tim is not accepting new intellectual properties into his fandom.
Well, hold on.
Okay, Starfield accepting.
Hold on. Have you watched Castlevania?
Yeah. Again, series I give a shit about.
Castlevania, I've heard it gets really,
Castlevania is so good.
I've only watched the first season.
It's great.
Yeah, but I've seen like clips of like the fight that's in like season 4 or 5 or whatever it is, and I'm just like, maybe I should watch all this. But I'm getting rid of Netflix, so fuck it.
I think it's funny. Cody's always like trying to get me to watch animes, and I'm over here like, I don't like anime, and then I just told you all these animes that I watch on the side that are just it has to be very specific.
Apparently,
Tim only watches AAA anime.
Yeah,
that's right.
What were you about to ask, Justin?
Yeah, didn't Netflix they're like doing something where they're turning their basic plan into an ad-supported plan now?
No, they got rid of it. The basic plan, the cheapest plan that you could have without ads, they just got rid of it. So now the cheapest plan what you said is correct. My bad. Yeah. So now the cheapest plan that you can buy is an ad-supported plan. Yeah.
That's worrisome for me. I have their most basic plan, and they didn't tell me that they're changing it.
Yeah, they didn't tell anybody. You know what that reminds me of? You want to know what merger should have been blocked a while back? When Sony bought fucking Crunchyroll. Because Sony owns Crunchyroll and Funimation. And you want to know what Crunchyroll did when that fucking happened? They got rid of the freemium stuff that was part of Crunchyroll. So you can't watch jack shit unless you subscribe. to their stuff now.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was on Crunchyroll recently.
Funimation?
They own Funimation and Crunchyroll. Their only competition nowadays is High Dive. And I'm assuming that's probably the first time you've heard of that.
No, you've told me about High Dive before.
Oh, so you've only heard it because I went out and looked for it, and because there's some things that get like High Dive gets some good shows, right? Like they got Eminence and Shadow, Call of the Night. Like they've gotten some Oshi no Kino or whatever, which is one from the recent season that's like super popular. They got those, but like in general, you might as well just buy a Crunchyroll subscription and Sony.
When I watched DBZ back in the day, it was Funimation that was publishing it on Cartoon Network. So like, does Sony own the rights to the DBZ anime because they own Funimation, or was that just
no?
No, Funimation doesn't own the rights to DBZ.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because
they're just publishing it.
Yeah,
they're
whatever.
just
publishing it. You got the individual animation studios that own the rights. But you want to watch DBZ? It's all on Crunchyroll now. All the like I think they got like 10 or 15 movies on fucking Crunchyroll.
Is it not still on?
Yeah, they just got the newest one on there recently.
Are they not? Is it not on what?
Is it not still on Hulu? It was on Hulu for a while.
They might be. They might be. Some of that stuff.
I think that's where I watched Super.
We got Logan kind of into it for a little bit. We were watching DBZ, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago now. So we didn't stick with it because he kind of fell off. But like I keep trying to get him to go back and watch it with me. I really want him to watch the Prince of Saiyan arc.
Try to get him on the movies, man. Like,
which I think is funny.
Put him on the newest movie that came out.
Yeah.
I think that's a good just standalone flick.
Right. A lot of the DBZ movies, I feel like. But Sony basically has a monopoly on the animation industry, at least in the West, right? I don't know about in Japan, because in Japan there's more options on things like Netflix and stuff like that. But like, there's things that are only like there's a couple anime that are only on fucking Disney Plus of all places. Like, why? Like, it's just as soon as Sony bought up both of those, it kind of, in my opinion, ruined kind of a lot of the animation landscape. And might as well just buy Crunchyroll, and you're going to get 90% of everything every season. So, yeah, I don't know.
We are living in a streaming service hellscape.
So I would just say subscription. Just in general, hellscape.
We haven't. I know that we're running long, but we haven't talked about this at all. Google's bringing back Stadia, kind of.
Oh yeah, trying to play through YouTube.
Yeah, so you know that feature that they talked about with Stadia, where like you could be watching a YouTube video and you'd be able to like try the game,
play the game. Yeah,
they're bringing that just to YouTube now. You're just gonna like games will have to pay for it, and if Markiplier's playing the newest Amnesia game, there will be like a little link that you click and you can just try it through YouTube.
But it's gonna be cloud. Okay,
it's gonna be cloud. Yeah, so like that's gonna be interesting. And obviously Amnesia, I'm just throwing out an example of a game that it's gonna get a lot of views if somebody plays it. But like, that's gonna be a thing, and it's gonna at least that's what they're working on.
At least they're doing stuff, I guess. Even if it sounds like it's gonna suck.
Google doing stuff that sucks? Nah.
Man, I really
Smarch Alphabet's good name, sir.
We love how YouTube changed after the Google acquisition. It's only gotten better, obviously. Not.
I'm just glad they haven't paywalled 4K yet, because they were talking about it.
Oh, bet. All right. Well,
I
think that's it for tonight.
I don't want to hear the slander. It's my main entertainment consumption.
He's streaming on YouTube right now too.
Yeah, I am streaming on YouTube, but that's not why I'm saying this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably the only one out of this.
YouTube,
look, I'm probably the only one out of the three of us that pays for this. But I've been paying for YouTube Premium since like 2016, and I use it literally every day. It's the best. So much YouTube.
I just refuse to pay for Premium.
Well, my big thing is, I want to be able to lock my phone and listen to whatever the fuck I want. Because I'll listen, like, if I'm at the gym, sometimes I'll listen to music through YouTube. Sometimes I'll listen to motivational stuff, right, while I'm working out. Or maybe I'm mowing the lawn. And I'm sweating my fucking balls off. I don't need my phone changing videos through my pocket because I'm sweating so bad. Because my phone's not locked. Like, it's just... It just makes too much sense in my personal day-to-day life kind of thing to not pay for it. And and then I don't have to listen to any of the stupidly like commercialized ads. I just get like the 30-second blips that people put in their stuff. Like I can live with that.
They've targeted me as someone who watches long form content, so they go, "Oh, you don't mind long form ads? Here's a 30-minute ad that you have to take your phone out of your pocket and skip."
Yeah, see, that's I don't have to worry about that. That is a $10 I am not afraid to spend every month.
My phone's over here, and I am wearing wireless earbuds, cleaning my house, listening to a Vadi video lore dive video or whatever I'm doing, listening to Luton do a Warhammer 40k lore video, whatever it is, a like hour-long fucking story, and I'm cleaning, and I don't mind ads, so I'll listen through them, but then it's like, this ad's been going for 2 minutes, I walk over, and it's an 18-minute ad. I go, what the fuck is going on? Click. Because they know that, like, I'm.
Anyways.
It's awful.
So they get you.
Anyways, all right, we're gonna get out of here. Sorry you had to listen to me yell so much today, but we love you, and we will be back next Wednesday. And if I still have Game Pass, then maybe we'll play Exo Primal. I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about doing it tonight, just to try it out, and then we'll kind of go from there. But anyways, we love you. We'll be back next week, Wednesday at 10. Bye.
Bye, everybody.